Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good. Fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts. I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth. Can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about. Have your cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round. I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
What's up, YouTubers? It's your girl Shannon from EV and Chill, and I have owned my Rivian R1T for a month now, and I've put a little over 2,000 miles on it. So I've gotten to know this vehicle pretty well, the ins and the outs of it. And let me just sum it up for you. I'll just cut to the chase right here, people. This vehicle is awesome. It really is amazing. So awesome, in fact, I might say that this vehicle is the most capable EV on sale right now. Now, of course, that's just my personal opinion, but as someone who has owned a lot of EVs, I think that goes to show you how much I really love this EV truck. Okay, now in this video, we're gonna kind of deep dive that a little bit, and I'm gonna share with you some of the things I love about the Rivian, but also some things that Rivian can improve upon and fix. But also, people, it is real cold and windy out, so let me find a jacket, and then we're gonna continue. Okay, people, one of my favorite things about getting married is that the moment you say I do, like, your wardrobe doubles. Like, this was no longer my husband's jacket, this is now just another one of my jackets. Okay, but back to the truck. So one of the things I love about this truck, and a huge element of it, is its versatility and how much storage is in here. Let me show you what I mean. And we'll start in the back. So look at the truck bed. Like, there is a lot of room back there, people. Do you see that? But wait, there's more. Do I sound like an infomercial? Okay, and then under here, we've got even more storage. And this is probably one of my favorite features. I know people have talked about it because this is like such a big deal with the Rivians, but the gear tunnel, people. This thing truly, probably one of my favorite features of the Rivian, and I use it a lot. So right now we have our sports bag in here. This is for J3's soccer. We keep his cleats and his ball in there. And actually every Saturday, this is what we do. We take him out of the car, we sit him here on this little gear tunnel door, and we take his sneakers off, we put his cleats on, we put his shin guards on, and we're able to do everything right here on the gear tunnel. And something else I love about the gear tunnel is the fact that there are outlets in it. So you can see one right here, people. You can just plug things in there. And we've actually used it already. You can see in this short video I'll put right here that we used it to test out J3's lights and fog machine. He's got trunk or treat coming up at his preschool, and so we are gonna deck this Rivian out. And so the truck is gonna be able to power its own light system and fog machine. Although instead of trunk or treat, update, truck or treat. Do you love it? Okay, anyways, yeah, so the gear tunnel, it is super cool. We have used this a ton, possibly one of my favorite features so far. But there is a lot more versatility and storage when it comes to this truck. Let's look at the other places here. We have the frunk, which currently right now is actually holding the said fog machine and lights that we were just testing out. But we use the frunk a lot. Usually I put my groceries in it. We'll store extra like jackets in there. But again, let's keep talking about storage and space. Moving inside, we've got the under the seat storage. Again, like a really great use of space here from Rivian. That is super smart. And popping up front, we have J3. Say hi, J3. Hey, J3, do you like the Tesla or the Rivian better?
Both.
That's a good answer.
I like the trains too.
Oh, and you like trains? I like trains also. That's awesome. So again, under the seat storage is a genius idea. But again, the versatility doesn't stop there. Take a look at the crossbars. These can go up top here, or they can go across the bed of the truck. So whatever you're carrying, again, it's super versatile, and the Rivian can make it happen. So Rivian obviously did a great job maximizing storage and space and making things super versatile. However, there is one thing that this vehicle does not have that I was kind of surprised about, and that's the fact that there is no glove box. People, nothing right here. And to the people who would say, Shan, there is enough storage in the Rivian, why do you need one more little compartment? I would say this, would you ever tell a woman she has enough closets in her house? No! So why would you not add a glove box? Now, of course, there is a lot of like room here, some ample room in this console area. I mean, that is pretty deep. That's kind of become, I guess, like our makeshift glove box. But in an ideal situation, people, the console is for snacks. The glove box is for like your paperwork, your napkins, in case you get pulled over. I keep a donut in there for the cop. No, I'm just kidding. But again, I just wish there was a place to separate like my paperwork from my snacks. So again, hopefully Rivian 2.0 will have fixed that. I don't know, we'll see. Let's move on and let's talk about the frunk again. As far as frunks go, people, I'm used to having a frunk. Most of my EVs have had some sort of frunk. Sizes have varied, bigger frunks, smaller frunks. They say size doesn't matter, but people, we know size matters. So this frunk, again, it's a great size here. It's even got the sub frunk. But what I'd like to talk about is not so much of the fact that there is a frunk, but the fact that it is a powered frunk. I've never had a powered frunk before, and people, having it powered is a game changer. Tesla, can you please jump on board with the powered frunk? Like, it is literally amazing. I love the fact that I don't have to touch the hood to open it or close it. I like how easy it is. I can open it and close it from my phone, from the key fob, even a button inside on the screen. Or all the way down here, hello, we've got right here, this button right here. In fact, since we're here, let's close the frunk right now, shall we? Boom. Just like that, touch of the button could not be any easier. I mean, how simple is that? Like when you are loaded down with your arms full of groceries, it is literally a game changer. Okay, now it's getting, again, super windy, so let's move inside the truck and let's talk about the interior. So obviously the R1T can store a lot in the interior like we just saw. But what are some other things I love about the inside? I'll tell you. I love how it looks and it feels so premium. Take a look here, people. It just looks so nice. And let me flip you around here so you can see the front. Now we do have a really big screen right here, and people either love it or they hate the big screen. Personally, people, I love a big screen. I think the bigger, the better. But the other materials that Rivian uses here, they really feel premium and they really fit the idea that this is a luxury truck. I think the unsanded wood here on the dash, and let me get a little closer for you, it's really a unique touch. And I really didn't know if I would like it at the beginning, but when you combine it with the brushed metal and then the Ocean Coast interior, it just looks and it feels so fine. It's almost like my husband's booty, so fine. So now let's talk about something a little on the controversial side when it comes to the R1T, and that is the air vents. Yes, people, the air vents are very controversial, and let me show you why. They're actually really similar to adjusting the air vents on like my Model Y. You just do it through the screen. So we'll simply bring up the climate icon, and then you'll see as we adjust this icon here for the vents below will rotate in that direction. Now, I'm not quite sure why this is super controversial, to be honest. For me personally, I adjusted the air vents on like day one of ownership, and I haven't touched them since, except for when I just did it right now to show you. Once I had them in the right spot, there's no need for me to like continue to like adjust them all the time. So honestly, that leads me more to wonder, like, people who really despise that so much, like, are they just adjusting their vents like every 5 seconds of their car ride? I don't know. For me, again, it's like really a non-issue. I got them right the first time. I don't need to adjust them. The only thing I really do is just make it hotter or colder, but when I do that, I'm not needing to adjust the vents. So that's not a big deal for me. However, there is something I wish the R1T had, and that would be a dedicated frunk button. And I wish, honestly, people, we have the unlock button here. I wish there was a frunk button just right next to it, because I use my frunk so much. I just wish there was like an easier way to access it. And there really is an easy way to access it through the screen. We'll just hit this truck icon and then open hood, boom. And you can see it opening right there. And now we will close it. So there is a way to access it through the screen, but again, I wish like you didn't have to go through like that one extra layer. If they could literally just like put out a software update where they could put an icon right here, that would be perfection. And something else I've noticed since owning the R1T is that a lot of the visualization is really similar to that of Tesla. Okay, now I don't think that's necessarily a huge surprise to a lot of people because I think Rivian has a few former Tesla employees. But I will say this, I think that Tesla's operating system is still superior than that of Rivian. However, I do think that Rivian is probably second best to others I've experienced. And I'll say the same thing about Driver Plus. It's not as good as Autopilot, but again, I think it's easily second best. All right, now something else I love about the R1T is how it makes my booty feel. Let me explain. I love that it has heated and ventilated seats. You can see the quick access button right here because I had my heated seats on earlier. But if you go here, we can have cooled seats, we can have heated seats, and a heated steering wheel. That heated steering wheel, people, game changer. Okay, but something else I really like here is the 360 camera. This is really awesome. Driving this truck, I'm gonna be honest with you here, coming from even my Model Y, this thing feels really big. So I really like just having all the safety features here. I like seeing what's around me. So 360 here, we've got the rear camera here. I can swap it real quickly to the front view. I can even swap the screens to make them bigger. So again, if it's a safety feature, I love it, and I love me some cameras. I don't even mind cameras in my bedroom. Sometimes. Check me out on OnlyFans. Just kidding, just kidding. So again, there are a lot of similarities between Tesla and the R1T and how they view software. But people, I have to point out how great it is not to need a key fob or even a start button, just like my Tesla. I mean, yes, Rivian gives you lots of ways to get in if you need to. You can use the key fob, you can use the key card, you can use your phone, but you don't really need these. You can just use your phone, which is what I do. I have my phone with me 24/7. So it's really great if I need to like jump in and go, I can do that because I always have my phone in my pocket. Honestly, I don't want an extra accessory bulging from my pants all the time. I mean, let's be real, people. Honestly, the only bulge in pants I like is in my husband's pocket, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So the fact that I just need my phone and the fact that there's not even a start button on here is just really awesome. It makes it more seamless. It makes it more efficient. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised more like auto manufacturers haven't jumped on board this train yet. And talking about efficiency, I have full confidence here that this truck is able to get what it states. I really think that this is accurate. I have total confidence that I'm able to achieve the range stated, whereas with other auto manufacturers, I think that they tend to overestimate it a lot. So over the last 2,000 miles, I have averaged 1.98 kilowatt hours. And that's really right on par with what it shows with these wheels and tires and driving in all-purpose mode. And let's take a second to appreciate these whoppers of a tire. People, these are like mammoth tires. They're massive. All right, take a look down here, people. We've got 275, 65, 20s. People, and these came from the factory. That is a 34-inch tire. Are you serious? I mean, this looks aggressive, and it provides a lot of capability for off-roading. Okay, and since we're out here, let's also just touch on the looks one more time, because this is one fine looking truck. I mean, do you see even just the yellow accents? It's the little details here that Rivian thought of. These yellow accents in the Rivian, the lettering right there, we have it in the brake calipers. And coming around to the front, Rivian even carries that yellow accent through the badge right here. Okay, now let's take a look at the interior because it is still real cold, y'all. As hot as I am, it is chilly outside. But coming inside, we'll see it again. We'll see it yellow accent, yellow accent. Even up top here. Okay, let me show you this way. I call these the Oh Jesus handle because you are needing Jesus when you need to hold on to these. Do you see the yellow accent in there? Again, it's the small things that really matter, people. So what about the size of the truck and how well does that work for us? Well, the R1T is not a full-size truck, but it's definitely bigger than a mid-size truck. It's got a shorter bed, and yes, the interior space is smaller than a full-size truck. Is it noticeable? I mean, I would say yes, but not even yes in a negative way. I'd almost say that more in a positive way. And let me actually show you, because I'm sitting in the back here. Let me show you how much room I've got real quickly. And for reference, I'm 5'4". I think I fit pretty comfortably. But we do have quite a bit of room here, if you can see that. Like, that's pretty comfortable. There's enough leg room. And again, because there's no transmission hump, unfortunately, there's no humping in this vehicle. I'm just kidding, you know there's some humping in this vehicle. But again, that just creates a lot more space for legs and feet here. So let me hop back in. Let me even show you like a different view. Okay, so showing you kind of like a different point of view, I have the driver's seat in my husband's position. This is where he normally drives. I still have plenty of legroom for me. Again, I'm 5'4", but again, like I have ample room to spread around. So yes, it is definitely smaller than a full-size interior. But that being said, I think it almost works to the R1T's advantage because this truck, it is a little bit more maneuverable. It's easier to like drive on roads, fit in smaller parking spaces, and that's even better for off-roading. So do I miss the bigger room? Honestly, not really. I mean, honestly, in a whole month of ownership, I have yet to wish that this has been a bigger truck. For us, this is a perfect size. Now, all that being said, you might be wondering, well, how comfortable is the ride and the drive? And the seats in this truck are extremely comfortable. I mean, there is a lot of cush for my tush. Now, in comparison to my Model Y, those seats are like really bolstered. So when I sit here in the Rivian, like I think they're extremely comfortable. Take a look here, I'll show you what I mean. I mean, they're not as bolstered as the Model Y, but you can see here like it's firm, but there's also like a pretty good amount of give. And because it has air suspension, I think it's hands down the best riding truck I've been in. Okay, but here's something really cool. You can also put it into auto mode. You can have the suspension in auto. Let's click that there. And it will raise and lower it depending on how you're driving. And obviously, of course, it can raise it up to 15 inches of ground clearance when you need it. So that is like really advanced suspension. I can actually feel myself like raising right now. So again, that is really advanced suspension, but it does have its trade-offs. This is gonna sound kind of weird, but sometimes when I'm driving, this truck chirps. Yeah, like a chipmunk, like it just kind of lets out like little chirps here and there. And I'll try to put a video in here so you can kind of like hear what I mean. But again, I really only notice it when I'm going over bumps or if I'm traveling at like a lower speed. It's not super noticeable. However, if you're driving this vehicle like over and over again, it's just kind of something you pick up on. So basically, the Rivian technician kind of explained it this way. He said basically there's a valve in the suspension and it pushes hydraulic fluid to help dampen that suspension. And every time that valve like opens and closes, that's when it's letting out that chirping noise. So Rivian, they are aware of it, and he said that they're actually trying to work on a software update to fix that. And people, let's pause right there, because the fact that Rivian is aware of this and they're trying to fix it with a software update is really cool. That is like really awesome technology. But that being said, with the price hike, like this is a $100,000 truck. And that being said, I don't think a chirping noise should be included in that package. Now moving on, let's talk about something else I've really come to like about this Rivian. And people, that is how quick this is. This truck can do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. People, I'm gonna say that again for those of you in the back. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds for a truck. Y'all, that is insane in the membrane. Are people still saying that? I don't think so. Okay, I sound really old now. Anyways, that is super quick. Like TRX, who? Okay, actually, funny story. So the second day I owned this vehicle, I was at a stoplight at an intersection. Who rolls up next to me? A TRX. Y'all, I was minding my own business. I was not trying to instigate anything. I'm just looking ahead. But I can hear them, right? They're an ICE vehicle. I hear them revving their engine at me. Okay, now mama is not one to turn down a dare. And I don't condone racing at all. Racing is bad. However, if someone is going to challenge me, I'm not going to back down. Now, I don't want to hurt the TRX's feelings. Maybe the TRX owner is watching this. And if you are, again, I'm not going to call you out, but I'm just going to say, do you want some ice for that burn? Because you know mama was not in second place. Number 1, baby. But yeah, anyways, racing is real bad, so don't do that. What I do want to say here is actually how it handles, because I've kind of been surprised at actually how I even drive this myself. So previously, you guys know that we owned a Tesla Model 3, and I kind of compared that to being like a go-kart. And then we got the Model Y, and I thought like, wow, this Model Y, like it drives so differently from the Model 3. Okay, but now that we have the Rivian, I think I would have to say I drive my Model Y like a go-kart now, and I drive the Rivian like a truck. So again, I have fully embraced truck driving life. I will drive this thing high and slow all day long. However, if that TRX rolls around me again, people, I'm gonna have to put it where it belongs. Back in the Stone Age. You can go check it out in the museum with the other fossils. Get it, like fossil fuel? All right, moving on, let's talk about another issue that's come up a lot in the forums. Like, I was even aware of this issue before we took delivery of the R1T, and that is with the tonneau cover. So we know that these have been breaking a lot. Actually, when we took delivery of this vehicle, I was joking to like the Rivian guide. I was like, how long do I have before it breaks? But so far, people, fingers crossed, it has not broken yet. Let's take a look here. How bad would it be if it broke like on this YouTube video? Okay, but here we go. It is working pretty well. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So thankfully, the tonneau cover is still working. I hope it continues to work. Okay, now something else I have noticed here, and first off, take a look at how beautiful that back end is. Like that is almost a nicer booty than J-Lo. I said almost. Okay, but something I have noticed here is that this bumper, it really does not extend very far at all. Can you see that? Now, aesthetically, I think that looks awesome. I think it looks really great. However, practically, I've come to find out it makes it really difficult to get like in and out of here. Now, if you're a truck driver, you've probably stepped on your back bumper maybe like a million times to get in and out of the bed of your truck. And as great as this profile looks, again, I just don't think it's super practical. So it's really difficult to get in and out. I'm hoping Rivian like 2.0 might have like a little bit of a longer bumper, or even maybe like cutouts here where you can stick your foot in it. So for me right now, I have tried getting in the bed by climbing the tires. Actually, I found this to be a little bit more efficient. I just open up the gear tunnel door, and then I just use this as a step to get in. Otherwise, the only thing I can do, people, is like an Olympian high jump to like hopefully get in. Okay, but overall, this is a very like aesthetically pleasing truck. Like this thing looks nice. It is definitely a conversation starter. I can't even tell you how many times I've come out of the grocery store, or even if I'm just sitting at like a red light at an intersection, guys are like rolling their window down to talk to me about this truck. Okay, so here is my PSA for you ladies. I know dating has been difficult, especially with COVID and everything like that, trying to get back out there. Here's the deal. If you want a lot of attention, buy this truck. Because I don't think there's anything more surprising to a man than if he sees this beautiful truck roll up and then looks and sees a beautiful woman driving it. Okay, so that is my PSA for you. That is my 2 cents. Get yourself a nice vehicle and you'll get yourself a nice man. And continuing to talk about attention, let's talk about all the attention we've been getting from the recall. Okay, and disclaimer, PSA people, recalls have been happening for decades. Like, recalls have been happening even with different auto manufacturers, even with some of my son's play toys. Like, he's had recalls on some toys. So recalls are not new. However, I feel like people are like going bananas when they hear that there was a recall with a Rivian or even with a Tesla. But first, let me talk about the recall that's been happening with the Rivian. Because people, I have like walked out of the mall, I've walked out of grocery stores, and people come up to me and they are asking if like the wheels are gonna fall off my vehicle. I do think that is like a touch dramatic. That has not happened. Honestly, didn't really think it would happen. But again, safety first. We want to take all safety concerns seriously. But first, let me talk about the Rivian. So this is what happened in regards to the recall. Last week, I had Rivian call me. They said, hey, are you going to be home today? We're going to fix the recall. I said, yes, I am. They said, great, we'll be there before 5 p.m. I said, awesome. Click. And all they did, people, they tightened a bolt from 70 Newton meters to 120 Newton meters in less than 10 minutes. The guy was super nice, really pleasant, rolled up in a Rivian truck, fixed it, and then left. I even offered him a Gatorade, but he said no. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit more about the political side of this. People, this might be news to a lot of you, but the news is paid to report bad things. Like, I know that's probably shocking considering what we've lived through these past few years. But the news, they thrive on bad things happening. I mean, that's how they get paid, people. They report on bad things. If only good things were happening, the news would probably go out of business. Also, people, as a small side note, let's look at who's lobbying the media. Don't you think there are like certain auto manufacturers that lobby the media? Maybe specifically around the Detroit area? I don't know. That's all I'm going to say on that. Make your own conclusions. Okay, so at this point in the video, you might be wondering if I have any regrets in buying this vehicle. And I think I'd have to say, y'all, I really love this truck. This truck is awesome. Now, J2, I think hands down, he would say the R1T is his favorite EV he's ever owned. For me, y'all know I still love my Model Y. I don't know if I'm ready to fully swap my allegiance over just yet. However, I can tell you that I'm very, very impressed with this vehicle. I think it really offers a lot of versatility for the money, and it offers those capabilities wrapped in this really premium package. I mean, look at this, people. Like, this is a nice truck. So I've been very impressed with it. I think honestly, if I do have a regret, and I mean this sincerely, my regret is not putting a deposit down for the R1S. After seeing how great the truck is, I think the R1S would be just as awesome, if not possibly more awesome than the truck. I don't know. Now, if you ask me the question, would I recommend this truck to others? Honestly, I'd have to say I'm not sure. Because I think it comes down to like an individual's wants or needs for their lifestyle, their family. It also comes down to like their financial situation. I mean, this is an expensive truck, but hands down, if you have the lifestyle, if you have the means, this truck is literally like the Swiss Army knife of trucks. So we've really been enjoying this truck. We have a lot more videos to make with it, of course. If there's anything you want to see in particular, drop it in a comment below. Also, of course, don't forget, if you're new to the channel, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. And if you've already subscribed, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up. Well, that's all I've got for now. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.